The hospital environment, with all of its apparatuses and noises, and the masked doctors and their sterile environments, also adds to this feeling of unsafety and this feeling of tension that greater complicates the birthing process. We are the Palladian Council, and we thank you for allowing this transmission to take place. We ask in which ways can we be of service to you with your questions at this time.
Hello. It is a real pleasure to connect with you and to hear your wisdom from beyond our human world. Our topic today is childbirth and early parenting. What advice do you have for pregnancy that is different from current mainstream ideas?
During pregnancy, the child is linked with the mother entirely. So everything the mother experiences, the child experiences. So you know that the nutrients that the mother eats go to the child, though also the factors like emotions affect the child. Mothers who are very stressed during their pregnancy will transfer that energy to their child. The music, the entertainment, the sounds and vibrations from the world around also affect the unborn child and leave subtle imprints. These, of course, are far more subtle in their nature than the imprints that the child receives after birth. And in some way, these experiences can be nullified by extremely careful parenting after the child is born. However, there is still a subtle degree of imprinting that does take place.
Birth itself can be a shock for the baby and also for the mother. Human heads are so large, and modern women seem to need medical intervention, drugs and surgery for what was natural before. Is there any advice you have for mothers about to give birth?
Human birth has become much more challenging because you as humans have adapted your behaviors in such a way that you lack the flexibility and the expansiveness in your body that you once had. Women before could easily squat and regularly squatted. They would be on their feet often and not just simply sitting or taking care of mundane tasks that gradually lead to a greater level of inflexibility. This, coupled with the emotional inflexibility of not having rituals of surrender and practices of surrender in your modern lifestyle, which leads you to be very stressed out and very tense, causes for there to be a mental tension that creates further problems in opening the uterus and birth canal during birth to allow for the child to be born with greater ease. So the ultimate solution is adapting human lifestyle so that you return to that state of greater flexibility in your body, but also that you are more naturally relaxed and not holding on so tightly. The hospital environment, with all of its apparatuses and noises, and the masked doctors and their sterile environments that create a sense of unsafety and as if one is a living science experiment, also adds to this feeling of unsafety and this feeling of tension that greater complicates the birthing process. There can be great resolution of these issues when people practice things like midwifery that allows for natural practices and breathing techniques and ways of working with the body to augment the birth. These things must, of course, be learned ahead of time so as to prepare for the birth. And a wonderful setting must be conducted for the birth so that all parties can be in a relaxed space to allow the child to come into the world in a beautiful and serene way. Practices like water birthing are common for this, as they allow for a very soothing atmosphere that can soften the child landing into this world.
Many people prefer natural birth, and yet, in some circumstances, the life of the baby, or the mother, or both, was lost in the days before modern hospitals. Do you have any advice for people who prefer a natural birth?
Work with a midwife, work with those who are trained and who have success in this field. Approach it wisely and make sure that you have a plan B and you don't just make plan A. follow this path carefully and know that it as well may have some risks. The anatomy of the mother must also be assessed to see if there is grounds for heightened probabilities of complications.
Caesarean section is sometimes chosen for convenience, and in emergency it can be the only solution. Some say babies from planned caesareans are calmer. Others say this is not the best start to life. What do you say?
This is a fine solution in some circumstances when it is absolutely necessary, though it does add a level of trauma both to the mother and the child. And sometimes these children will not have the same experience as those who go through a natural birth. The shock of birth is actually more extreme when there is the presence of everything involved in such an extreme operation as a cesarean section. And we would advise against it, though we would also invite you to remember that everything happens for a reason. And if this is the way you were born, or your child or someone you know was born, that also happened for a reason. And there are soul-level agreements at play that brought about that experience.
Breastfeeding seems natural, yet social pressure can prevent it. Does it really affect the future adult's psychology, or not?
Breastfeeding is very helpful and important. Breastfeeding is the natural way that you, as beings, as animals, and as humans, have been bringing new life into the world for a long time. And there are nutrients and energies present in the mother's milk that cannot be replicated by these baby formulas. There is also a bond between the mother and the child that takes place through this process that expands their connection and allows the child circuits of relating and feeling safe and secure to be anchored in their system in a proper way. It helps the development of the root chakra and ensures that children will be secure and resilient. However, in order for this to complete, there must also be a great degree of skin-to-skin contact with the infant and the mother or another caregiver for much of the child's waking time.
Thank you. Have you any further comments on childbirth?
Childbirth is a very sacred moment, and we invite you to pray for it and play with it as that sacred moment. If you are planning childbirth, we would invite you to do a form of hypnosis, whether you do it with a hypnotherapist or you do a guided meditation or a self-induced hypnosis, and return to the moment of your own birth. Experience your birth trauma and your birth pleasure, and connect with that experience. Connect with other people about this experience as well, and compile stories and artifacts from all of these various experiences as you come to craft the experience of your own childbirth. See this moment as a very potent window at a time when a new soul enters the world. How would you want to be welcomed to this earth plane? When there are new beings being birthed in our reality, they are welcomed by all members of our world with ecstatic joy. We are not all present physically, but there is a psychic presence that takes place. And we connect with these newborns on a soul level. And in the same way, those of you who are more sensitive can ask for your friends and loved ones to connect in meditation and prayer through whatever tools and permission slips resonate with them to the birth of the child, and be energetically present to welcome this soul at a psychic and spiritual level, so that they can be also welcome to this world on a higher dimensional plane and feel that they are loved in a deeper way.
That completes this topic for today. Thank you so much for helping us to live with more love and magic.
We are gliding through the stars on a 5-year mission beyond Jupiter and Mars, a celestial encounter on a future Noah's Ark, and you won't hear us coming as we whisper in the dark. There's an Ewok close behind me as we try to disembark here. Obi-Wan Kenobi as we whisper in the dark.